I'm a big fan of Russ and kind
He's
of,
dope. Yeah.
yeah, as a North
Amazing what
Star
he's
for
done.
independent artistry,
Yeah.
what some of those things can look like, and just a big advocate for just transparency in music in general.
Mm.
And I just think what I learned from Russ a lot about both value attribution and also where to find your North Star for finances in your own artistry is just that it looks very different for each person. And you have to figure out, for some people, it's, I need to go out there and start like getting a fan base based on shows because people love to see me and people love to see me dance and they love to see me connect.
Mm.
For some people, they figured out the social media thing and the
Yeah.
content thing. And maybe that's, brands and influencing and I think it's figuring out a puzzle for and your own unique puzzle. And I think one of the challenges is that sometimes there's no example to go off.
Very
Sometimes
true.
there's no blueprint for, if you do grade one, grade two, grade three, you do your degree, then you go get this job. After 3 years, you're in this thing. And artistry is just not linear.
Yeah.
Sometimes you wake up and this person went viral. Sometimes it's like this. And it's just figuring out how to navigate that for your career personally. I think that's probably one of the more challenging things.
Wow, man. I mean, you said so much, and I'm gonna try to unpack it because on that part there, I know artists who do thrive from sync licensing, which is
Yep.
great. I think if you can get your music in sync licensing, you're winning. It's an easier sort of like transparent, like you said, you get your check for your music being in a certain place. Streaming is, like you said, vague. You can't see what's going on with it.
Yeah.
Some numbers are like, oh, I got so many numbers, but then depending on which country it is, might not mean the same
Mhm.
value. The touring is one thing that's interesting. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. But I think the thing that I got the most from that, for me personally, is trying to define which is the best path for you as an artist.
Mhm.
And like I said, there's no linear kind of plan to say, oh yeah, step one, step two, you climb this ladder, then you do X, Y, Z,
Yeah.
and then you get to 50K or whatever. There's nothing like that, not like a career. And I think the challenge for artists is often being able to, I'm a big believer that in everything that I do, feedback is super important.
Mhm.
That feedback loop. So when I put out a piece of content, what feedback am I getting from my
Right.
audience? And one of the things that people in business always say is when you're doing something, do it quickly or fail fast. As they say.
Yeah, I love that.
Right?
Yeah, I love
absolutely,
that. By the way.
absolutely. So you need to test all these little things. Like, okay, if I'm good at songwriting, production, singing, and maybe performing,
Mhm.
where really is my proper strength? Can I combine all those things to become one super strength? Or maybe is there one thing that really stands out
Yeah.
when I get the feedback and say, actually, my songwriting is much better than my performing. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll stick to this. So, I mean, yeah, if you're an artist and you're watching this, fail fast, okay? Just put yourself out there.
Fail faster.
Fail faster.
Fail
Faster.
fastest.
Exactly, right? And just keep putting yourself out there because you just don't know what's going to hit sometimes. You just don't know. Someone might pick you up and say, hey, we love your stuff. We want to put it in a movie.
Absolutely.
But you won't know until you put it out there. So put it out there, man.
Absolutely.
I love that so much. So thank you so much, man, for breaking down that piece of wisdom.